there is some breaking news in terms of women's basketball injuries. Nebraska will be without their graduate guard, Sam Habe, with a leg injury. And she's a two-time Big Ten selection off and off the court. She's only the only Husker women's basketball player in history to achieve a career milestones of 1,000, at least 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 400 assists. She's number 8 all time in Nebraska history in assists and number 15 in career points. But last year she averaged 11 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 3.9 assists per game, 1.4 steals per game, 2.4 turnovers per game, 1.6 fouls per game. She was 81.6% from free throws, which is pretty good. Though her three-point shooting was off last year. 19 for 78, which is 24.4%. And that took a step back from 13% from the year prior. And I gotta keep in mind, too, that Nebraska last year did make the NCAA tournament. I believe they did. Even though they were 6th in the Big Ten. But the Big Ten had some good teams like Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio State. Just to name some teams in front of them. So, and I'm going to check on their roster and who is coming back. And in terms of like who can help Nebraska out, because honestly, that's a big loss what they just suffered, because that's if that's one you're better. Yeah, they were a round of 64 or 64 team. They lost to number 19 Gonzaga last year, so yeah, that's kind of a big deal to lose your best, one of your better players. Now, as for the roster situation on who's returning in terms of production, because you never know with this COVID year these days and transfer portal. Let's not forget about that. Josh Shelley is back. She led the team last year with 13.1 points per game, 6.3 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game, 1.8 steals per game, 0.9 blocks, 2.6 turnovers per game. She shot 40.6% from 3 and 77.3% from free throws and 42.5% from the field. So that's a huge get right there. And they also bring back the best post player in Alexis Markowski, who averaged 12.8 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, 0.8 steals per game, 0.6 blocks per game, 1.5 turnovers per game. She was 21 for 42 on threes, so that's 50% and 65.9% on free throws. I'm checking on Elizabeth Bone, which she's not coming back, but at least you have some type of production coming back that are leading scorers. So that's helpful. I mean, returning to your top leading scorers from a year ago. Well, they do have a transfer with Maddie Kroll that was alright. I think she was decent, if nothing else, at South Dakota. Of course, you know, their head coach went to West Virginia, so it makes a lot of sense. .8 points per game last year, so that's not bad. That's not a bad pickup. It's really not, with 4.1 rebounds per game, 2.1 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.4 turnovers per game, 30.8% from 3 last year, 74.1% from free throws, so that's not a bad pickup. So they do have some. Okay, Ashley Scroggins now back, but Allison Wedenmeyer is 7.2 points per game, 3.7 rebounds per game, 2.2 assists per game, 1.7 steals per game, 1.2 turnovers per game, 79.7% from free throws, and 27.9% from three. So that's just. So they still have depth, quality wise. So it's not like they don't have any depth, which you gotta have depth in basketball. I mean, you never know about foul trouble. So they do have some depth on the team, which is helpful. And they bring back like Kendall Coley as well, 2 points, 4 points per game. I know that's not much, but 40.9% from three last year and 85.7% on free throws. So that's bringing somebody back, some players back, and that's helpful. So yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, that's not like terrible. It's bad to lose somebody for the year. I mean, that's one of your best players ever. So let me check their non-con schedule. The non-con schedule has Omaha. They shouldn't worry. Houston Christian University, which used to be Houston Baptist, now the Houston Christian. Creighton, Drake, Tarleton. I'm pretty sure Houston Christian was an NIT team or NCAA tournament team. Either way, it doesn't. Either way is a quality opponent. I mean, let me go check. They were the WNIT team last year, so that's still a quality opponent. Creighton, I don't think they made the NCAA tournament, but I think they made it to the WNIT. So that's still a quality opponent, quality wise. So that's helpful. Yeah, they were 23 and they actually made the NCAA tournament last year. Never mind, 23-10 last year, but still, they are a quality opponent to deal with, so they can't take that one off. And I think Drake in the past has been good, but I'm not sure about last year per se. I mean, I think so, but they were, but they were not as good last year. So I want to just check what did they even make a postseason last year? I'm pretty sure maybe like a WNIT or something. I don't. Texas A&M Corpus Christi, Mississippi State missed the NCAA tournament. Obviously, they did. They were in 20. Drake was 20 and 14, and they were a WNIT team. So they're quality. They are a quality opponent. So it's not like a opponent you could. Virginia Tech, I think they were a WNIT team last year, but of course we know the Big Ten schedule. Maryland made the NCAA tournament, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio State, Iowa. We know that's just saying some teams in the non-conference schedule. So it's not like a lot of teams that missed the NCAA tournament last year. Yeah, Texas A&M Corpus Christi didn't even make it to the WNIT because they probably just decided not to play it. So it's still a somewhat difficult non-con schedule, but not like terrible by any means. I'm pretty sure Northwestern didn't make the NCAA tournament. I know they did. Pretty sure Michigan State probably didn't. If not, they made at least the WNIT. I don't know. Yeah, they didn't. Northwestern didn't make the NCAA tournament, so I would assume Michigan State didn't even make it to the WNIT either. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have, because that Northwestern would have been at least a WNIT team, but they might have just said, "Look, we're not going to play it." So there's still some quality games, and of course we know teams do play each other twice in the Big Ten, so that's, or at least once, maybe even twice. So there's some quality games that they might miss that player for the year, but from what I could gather on their roster and who's coming back, and they got that transfer from South Dakota, they should be good enough to be NCAA tournament potentially, but we'll have to wait and see, because anything could happen during the season. I mean, anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys later. It's going to be 400 subscribers more by the end of this year.